there, Twitter, Instagram, or otherwise, can tell me why turning somebody down on Discord doesn't fucking work, I would love to know.
We need tech support.
We need tech support. Help the podcast.
Someone at Discord. Everyone at Discord.
It doesn't fucking work for me. I can, and on top of that, if I'm using the Discord app, so this specifically was on the web browser, the desktop, like, you know, when you type in Discord, what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
But if I use the app, it's the same way. The desktop app, it's the same way. And if I go into my volume mixer and I turn Discord down in the volume mixer, it doesn't do anything.
None of your buttons do shit.
Nothing
what's
works.
Wrong?
I can have Wolf here at 0 audio, like all the way turned down in every single setting, and they're still ass blasting through my mic. Discord, fix your shit. I've emailed about it to you already.
Oh, they're ignoring you. They don't know how to fix it. Pulling an Elon Musk.
Oh well, Twitter or Instagram will help us.
Yeah.
They'll be our saviors. They'll know. And with that, welcome everybody to episode 23 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
I got too ahead of myself. I'm like, it's 24, yeah, because that's what I said in my practice audio.
Oh.
I had to make sure I know I did. I had to make sure everything was going. Last week we did a deep dive of Wolfie's playthrough, the first 8 hours of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
That was a blast. That was really funny.
Didn't cover much ground, but it was an 8 hours.
It was fun. It was a lot of naked 8 hours.
Yeah.
Surprise Twitch allowed that.
No one's
now I'm just going to spread the word that your stream is nudity.
No!
Get you banned.
It's got to stay a secret, like a black market trade.
This week, we're going to be talking about the new hot movie on Disney Plus called Turning Red.
Yeah!
And the drama behind it, apparently. So I've been told.
Oh, yeah.
There's some drama to hear about.
I'm always keeping up with the drama.
Oh, absolutely. It keeps me going. And then our next topic will be a Reddit Hypothetical, which we haven't done in quite some time.
We've been had too much to say.
I know. We keep having... This was planned. I planned this particular question, like, maybe 5 episodes ago. And we keep having new stuff brought up that we wanted to push back. So, finally, I get to use it.
Long awaited.
And then, like always, wrapping it up the way we do every episode, a question of the week from Rain, who, of course, if you haven't noticed by now, is not here.
Shame.
But that's why she's called a recurring guest and not a host.
That's right. She's never going to get promoted at this rate.
And yeah, true. We'll bring back Lauren. Nobody wants that.
Another screaming fit.
All right, Wolf, tell us about Disney Plus's Turning Red.
Alrighty, Turning Red is, as you said, a Disney release, animated movie about a young girl named May, who is going through some changes. Her family has a secret curse that kicks in sometimes for some people, but she got it, that makes her turn into a red panda. Her family runs a temple where they worship their ancestors instead of a god, and their ancestor gifted the ability to turn into a red panda to protect her family and her village during war. But of course now in the modern day, turning into a red panda is not exactly useful.
Indeed, you are just a panda.
So in the movie, she goes through May learning. Like May, the main character, she kind of lives a bit of a double life. She's got her true self essentially with her friends, where she hangs out. She's more like, what's the word? Ecstatic, excited,
rambunctious.
Rambunctious.
Yeah.
But then when she gets to her home, well, especially with around her mother, she's more reserved. She does everything she's told, etc., etc. And her family as a whole feels the panda thing is like a curse, and of course no one would want it, and then they assume that of course Mei Mei wouldn't want it. But Mei Mei comes to find out that she likes the red panda, and she really comes to embrace it.
She vibes
and in embracing the red panda, she also like embraces her true self in a sense.
Yeah.
She like stops being afraid to show it to her family.
Yeah, you have the double-sided coin of traditional family values, and then on the opposite side you have wanting to be yourself and self-expression and all that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. One note about the red panda is most of Mei's ancestors, or not even ancestors, but mother and aunts and grandmothers couldn't really control it.
Yeah.
And so it would come out, they would turn into a panda, or parts of them, depending on how stressed or excited they were. Basically, when they would get emotional, they would turn into the red panda. Mei figured out by, believing in herself and her friends and her family and what keeps her grounded, she could control it and mostly turn into the panda at will.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It was cool.
She gets like she gets in and like she's like super control over it when she finally like stands up to her and like, no, I want the panda and I'm gonna go to this concert. Then she's able to like
at the end she's just fucking
thing.
Beast Boy.
Yeah, or Mario double jumping all over the place.
Yeah, that was really funny.
The movie's truly a lot of fun. The only clips I had seen, like aside from the trailer on TikTok, were the scene where she's like angrily twerking at her mother.
Oh yeah. I actually didn't hear anything about it, didn't see anything about it on Twitter until, Wolf the ever trendy suggested we do it for a video because there's some stuff to talk about with it.
Really,
or not
really
a video,
stuck
but
right
a
past
podcast.
A video.
Yeah, I don't know. I said a video. Well, it technically is a video, but
I loosely
a podcast
in the loosest sense of the definition.
You get the gist.
God, it reminds me of the time I took an animation class, but used like a very technical definition of animation because it was basically a film class. She said, like the whole point was like taking pictures of things and then putting them together. That was animation. I was livid.
I had one. Well, I didn't really have it, but I enrolled in a film class that basically wanted me to spend 15 hours on the class a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you had to watch all the all these old films and then write about them and then meet with people to discuss them and compare your writings and like everything. It was like,
fuck that.
I'm like, no, I dropped out after the first class.
Yeah, I've dropped that one. I dropped out in the middle of the class. I just left. We took a break and I left.
Well, maybe one episode we'll just do funny college stories because we have a lot. So
back on topic.
You got a little bit of a tease there, but yeah, film classes and whack animation, not our thing. So yeah, back to Turning Red.
Turning Red, I really enjoyed. I ended up really resonating in it. It was like, I think it's maybe the first time I've really seen myself in a character in a movie that much.
Wow.
What with the drawn smut, being horny on the main, not having living that double life, because I also did that as a child. I had myself, I was my friend, which was my true self, and I would get with my family, and my family thought I was being fake to be with my friends. It was whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, the movie really hit me hard in the feels.
Yeah, it was good.
Times.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it. I thought it. I heard a lot of comments saying it was a really cringy movie, but there's probably no greater example of 13-year-old girls than this movie.
Yeah,
like
listen.
they are. It was like a perfect example of not even just like girls, but just like how kids are at 13.
Yeah,
like the kid Tyler is like mean to girls. That happens all the time. He ends up being a Fort Townie, hiding that he likes the music that they also like,
sneaking around.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought my one criticism, which of course I'm gonna have. Maybe not my one, but a main criticism. I thought it was a little long.
Long?
It was 2.5 hours.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so revived for me.
It was an hour and 40, hour and 40 minutes.
I see.
Okay, so not 2.5. I didn't know. It was an hour and 40 minutes.
2.5.
Yeah. Just over 1.5 is what I meant to say. Yeah, hour and 40 minutes. I thought the middle just dragged a little bit. I wanted the little bit in the middle to speed up there. However, I thought the ending was amazing and more than made up for it.
Yeah.
I definitely got super emotional when spoiler alerts, as always. When
obviously.
I mean, that was clear from the beginning, just like all our content. I thought I got super emotional at the end where all the family unite, break their panda seals, and drag the mother, who has a giant panda.
Yeah,
like
she's
aura.
Huge.
Massive. Fucking, where do you think Godzilla came from? Yeah, and they dragged her into the circle. That's not really the part. I like that part. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that whole, section. And then everyone starts singing. They start adding the, 4-town song to the traditional music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very Power Rangers vibe, where they break, all these different pieces of jewelry that have their little, stones in them.
Yeah.
I liked that part, but I really, really liked when the mom is brought back into, that spirit area as a kid.
Yeah.
And she has to, go through she's like, you can see her as they're walking towards the exit, that she's growing up and changing and adjusting and because I just thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
Very emotional. And then they have the big reconciliation with the grandma and the mom, and they both realize that they both kind of fucked up on that whole, their relationship.
Yeah.
But obviously reconciled towards the end. Very emotional, very nice.
Indeed.
So, as a whole, what do you rate the movie?
A solid, 9 out of 10.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Wow.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I really liked the friends characters as well.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Abby and Priya and Miriam.
I like the Korean girl. She's so feral.
Yeah, she was. That's a perfect way to describe her. She was definitely feral. She had unbounded energy.
Yeah.
What a vibe. Yeah. She was amazing. And there was also one thing. Speaking of the friends, I saw something on Twitter that was like, if this was 2013, because the movie takes place in 2002.
Yeah.
If this was 2013, these girls would run Tumblr like a fucking navy.
I saw that.
That was so
they
funny.
would.
Because that's it was so peak Tumblr behavior, honestly. Obsessing over shit, drawing smut in your notebook.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was, like I said, it was a perfect representation of children at 14 or 13 even.
Yeah. Anyone who said that they were if they were unrealistic or they weren't middle schoolers has forgotten how cringy they were in middle school.
Yeah, and
they probably thought they were real cool, but
yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's just
that's just how they are.
Most kids were cringy,
kids and cringe,
but that's when you're a senior in high school, you think the freshmen are cringy, and then you think, well, if you're a freshman, you think 7th graders are cringy. Now it's just you always think the younger selves or younger generation or whatever is more cringy than you, but you were probably arguably worse.
Yeah, you're probably still cringy.
Yeah, that's true. I saw another thing that was don't deny the cringe inside. Oh fuck! What was it? No, I forgot.
Lost it.
I forgot.
Recall it.
I should have saved it.
You should have.
Shit. Oh well. Anyways, I'll cut that out. Maybe.
Hide your shame.
Damn it! Now I want to find it again. Anyways, the animations I thought were really good. There's a lot of stills like when you see the spirit realm for the first time. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know exactly what it is. But it's basically that. The sky, the sky when they're on top of the roof and they see the pillar.
Yeah.
And when there's an overlook of the temple, there's like 4 scenes in particular that were really, really pretty. And I thought the animation was really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the animation style. Like 3D, of course, every movie's gonna be 3D nowadays, but it took like a really unique approach to the 3D.
In what way?
The characters are really, really expressive and bouncy. Their faces and their mouths, they stretch and squish. Yeah. There was like a variety in the face shapes, unlike past Disney movies. They all looked like really unique silhouettes, really unique characters.
Yeah, there was not only like in the faces, but yeah, in the characters themselves, there's like a lot of like different styles, body diversity, and just like ethnic diversity as well. Like there's a lot of different characters, and different backgrounds and everything. It was really good, well done. I mean, it's from like Disney, which is kind of poo-poo, but also Pixar, and that was good. So
yeah, it's the individuals we hype up.
Oh yeah, Disney. Absolutely. This is like an individual studio and director and producer that did well, and it's just headlined by Disney.
Yeah.
So definitely liked overall great. It's just Disney is not. I did see one thing on Twitter that I thought was interesting that I wanted to point out, but I don't think it's fair for me to comment on it without referencing the entire tweet that I saw from.
Yeah.
So for those of you not aware, or not, I guess not aware, but Freddie Wong, a famous like video game individual and actor and internet personality and all that stuff, tweeted about it, and he said, "I simultaneously adored Turning Red and the ripple effect of the Spider-Verse continued to delight, and also look forward to eventually watching a mainstream film about Asians without the word ancestors anywhere in the script." And I thought that was interesting. I'm obviously not of, Asian descent, so I don't think it's fair for me to comment on it. However, if you look at a lot of movies that are, based around Asian families or anything in this background, they kind of do go absolutely hammy salami on using ancestry as a huge background, which is fair because it is such a big part of their culture.
Yeah.
But also, I imagine a lot of them would like to see other parts of their culture explored as well, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I thought it was interesting, and obviously this movie and story that they were trying to tell was deeply rooted in ancestry and family ties and traditionality. But I see Freddie's point.
Yeah.
And Freddie Wong is an Asian, obviously. If that wasn't clear.
I would hope.
So I think his criticism is like completely correct.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword because, it becomes kind of repetitive and tropey, but at the same time, they are stories coming from people of Asian descent, and that's their experience they're injecting into it. Instead of like as opposed to like an outsider seeing Korean or Japanese culture and just including ancestors just because that's their only interpretation of it. It's like coming from the heart, especially this one probably, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Like I just think it's an interesting comment and is worth bringing up. I'm not saying it should do it less at all or more. I'm just, it's something worth talking about for future movies and stuff like that.
Indeed.
Speaking
of people's comments on the movies, that'll bring us into our first bit of drama on the movie.
Yeah, hit us with it.
So
they've waited long enough.
Yeah, that's right. So, a little someone named Sean, I forget his last name, but he was
Mendes?
Yeah, I won't shame Sean Mendes like that.
He's shamed enough.
But Sean, a former writer for Simply Cinema, wrote a little review about Turning Red. And
Ooh.
it caused some controversy. He was positive about the film. It's not that he like shit all over it, but it was more his closing comments that didn't rub people the right way.
Okay, hit us with it.
To quote, these are his words, I'm not paraphrasing. He felt that the movie wasn't for him, and that was a detriment.
Of course.
That the movie's intended audience apparently had a very narrow scope that was really holding Pixar back because no one else would be able to relate to this movie besides Asian Americans.
That's incredible. I understand how that would upset quite a number of people.
That's right. It was so upsetting. Even the cast, like, and the creators of the movie responded to him. They had things to say. And ultimately, Simply Cinema took his review down, and replaced it with another one.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
If simply put, if something isn't for you, that's all there is to it, and that's all you really need to say, that it's not for you. But to say that, like, their intended audience is limited to the scope of the main characters or whatnot, or the Asian American community, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he also called the movie exhausting because he couldn't relate to the characters.
Oh my god. That sounds like a privileged white guy to me.
It was.
Shocker.
Like, the absolute audacity. Like, okay, it doesn't appeal to you, yes, but that doesn't make the movie bad. It just means it just didn't appeal to you. But I feel like...
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like he was so focused on the main character being, what is she exactly?
They're Cantonese.
Cantonese. Being Cantonese and a woman that he, like, missed every other, like, interaction. Like, you're telling me he couldn't relate to being embarrassed by his parent, by his values not aligning with his family? He couldn't relate to any of that at all?
Yeah, for real. Not being accepted, not being, like you said, embarrassed, just being a kid. I mean, people don't feel accepted now when they're way older.
Yeah, or even with Tyler. That one's even a guy. You couldn't relate to wanting to be popular, wanting to fit in, any of that?
Wanting to be liked, wanting to be accepted for liking something that's traditionally not for you.
Yep.
Or traditionally not, like, you know, a boy band.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, in the 2000s, like, some 13-year-old kid gushing about a boy band, that's probably not gonna go over super well. So yeah. That's pretty ridiculous if you ask me.
Ridiculous.
And you know, good for them for taking it down, because fuck Sean. He should be embarrassed. That's
I hope he is.
It's 2022. Fuck off.
We're gonna hear about him. We're gonna hear from him at the end of the year about how he's gonna have like a special that he was canceled for his dumb review.
Yeah, good.
How he was silent.
I'll cancel him again.
Shut the fuck up.
I did see one more thought I thought was really interesting, and that, again, it's a little harder for me to comment on it, but I think it's worth pointing out, as I saw a lot of people on Twitter commenting how much they liked that, like, the female body at 13, 14 going through puberty, and how mainstream the film carried it. Like, they didn't make a big deal about the mom offering pads to the girl, because that, at first, when she said, a red flower or whatever, they thought it was her going through puberty when it was actually just a panda.
Yeah.
And so I saw a lot of people being really appreciative about that hopefully becoming more of a mainstream thing, and not just made a big deal out of. It wasn't overhyped. It wasn't a major plot point. In fact, it was probably no more than 5 seconds of film, but it was an important 5 seconds for them to include, I think.
And I probably, like, the first notable time that even pads are mentioned by name in a movie aimed at children.
Yeah, it was like I thought it was well done. I liked seeing it, and I know a lot of people commented on it and were really really happy with it. So kudos to the studio.
Indeed, some people were mad about it, but fuck them. There's
fuck
something wrong with them.
Oh my god, grow up. It's literally, it's just the human body. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's just what happens. It wasn't even made a big deal out of.
Yeah, it was mentioned twice.
Yeah, it was mentioned in the first, like, for 5 seconds, and maybe one time after, but
in an hour and a half movie.
Yeah, like, fuck off. Go sit with Sean. So yeah, I really liked it. Well, I mean, I guess we both really liked it.
Indeed. Second
Quality.
piece of drama.
Oh yeah, you got another one.
I do.
Oh,
this one's more.
This.
This one's more widely scoped. It's not aimed at one specific person.
Okay.
There's been I think it's got to be. There's a little bit of backstory. Sure. If you remember Encanto, did you ever watch it?
I haven't. I've been meaning to though.
It was good. I'd recommend it. But Encanto had this thing. It got fandomized, as in it gained a fandom, which was a bit odd considering the type of movie. And because it gained a fandom, some really silly things happened. It became almost like a issue. Like there's nothing wrong with like headcanoning characters as like LGBTQ, but it was weird because it was like these non-Latino, mostly white people looking at this movie and like completely changing the context of it. Like it was like they couldn't relate 100%, so they decided to completely change it so that they could relate by making the characters queer coded. And by doing that, they even like really villainized the great grandmother, because in their head that means the grandmother is homophobic, which is like awful compared to what is really going on. Is that the grandmother's a bit traumatized and is afraid of everything falling apart again, so she's being a little too controlling.
Okay.
And then going into, what do you call it? Turning red.
Yeah, Turning Red.
There was some people making comments. There were like some like casually gay moments, like when the movie, like the girl, I forget her name, but the friend that talks with the monotone voice and her dancing with the goth girl.
Priya,
yeah.
Yeah.
And just other little moments like that, and I forget all the friends' names. The tall one with the braces.
Miriam
taking care of May's little Tamagotchi like a mother.
Yeah.
It was a bit of that, and there became talk of maybe not every movie needs to be fandomized. Not every movie needs a wild, huge fandom where you're drawing fan fiction and such of, especially these types of characters, like 13-year-old characters. Because then you get into like people shipping these characters. Even in Encanto, people were shipping the family members.
Yeah.
Which is like awful, but it's kind of inherent to things becoming a fandom.
Yeah. People get really weird and obsessive over this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like trying to make meaning and attachment to their own lives to it.
Yeah, it could just be a good movie. You don't have to make it your whole life.
Yeah. I just enjoyed it. I would happily watch it again later on, and that's that.
Yeah.
That's like I think I told you about this one time. There was a popular song going around. I don't remember what it was, but it was the artist got big off it. It was like their first hit.
Yeah.
It was like a YouTube or TikTok famous song or something. And a lot of people were trying to figure out the meaning behind the words and the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, the artist is saying they're going through depression and this line means this, and saying he's on a sugar crash is coping for drugs and all that stuff.
It was a Lil Nas song.
Yeah, the song was called Sugar Crash. And he's like, no, I just ate a lot of candy that morning. And it was like stuff like that. Like you could look at a bunch of the lyrics and it was like, I forget all of them, but you could probably find the article where the artist talks about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like they tried to put way too much thought and deep meaning behind it. And the lyrics, while good, were like incredibly shallow. And not to say like in a bad way, but like they were very face value lyrics.
Yeah.
There wasn't much meaning behind them other than what is like the individual words.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
there didn't need to be.
Yeah. And so I think people can just chill out and enjoy something. and to oh god, I'm stumbling now. To bring up your point before about, you know, Sean and saying not for him, you can look back at previous Your Ridiculous episodes where I'm perfectly fine with saying this was not for me, but it doesn't make it bad. And I think more people need to understand that. Like Undertale and the other one,
Deltarune.
Deltarune. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. Deltarune are definitely not for me, but I can appreciate the game as a good game and appreciate how it's successful, why it's successful, why people like it. And of course, I have criticisms about it because it's not for me, but that doesn't make it bad or that it should have been a game for me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
2022, everyone, it's time to evolve.
Yeah, exactly. Just let people enjoy things. And don't try to assign meaning to it so you can, you know, envelop your own life and culture around it.
Sometimes you can just be a viewer.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be a member. Just like You're Ridiculous. You can just watch us. You'll never be with us.
Exactly. You wish.
Yeah, they do. All right. Wrapping up Turning Red. If you haven't watched it, Turning Red, go watch it. It was very good.
High quality.
Oh, yeah. Very good. So, moving on now. We're going to be doing a Reddit Hypothetical. If you haven't been around long enough for us to do it, well, I don't know why you missed episodes. But, for those of you that may have forgotten, because it's been a little while, it's where I go onto Reddit, find a hypothetical question a user or commenter has asked or posted, and we discuss it, answer it ourselves. And, lucky for you, I found a pretty spicy one.
We really hyped it up at the beginning.
Did I?
Yeah, you mentioned it, how it's been like, you've been saving it for like a month.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I have been saving it. It's a good one. So, from Larson Sam 2, we have, hypothetically, if you were in Walmart about to be attacked by an unrelenting horde of kindergartners, what item or items would you choose to defend yourself, and how many do you think you could take out before they get you? No actual weapons, i.e. guns, knives, etc. So you obviously can't just, this is a, you know, like Wolf said, a classic phrased one. How many kindergartners could you take down? Larson Sam 2 asked, or evolved it to, you know, getting a weapon in Walmart. Or getting a tool, not necessarily a weapon. But, so like we said, no actual weapons, no knives from the kitchen area, no guns, if some Walmarts have guns and stuff like that, so.
Oh, right.
I have my answer if you need to think.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so, I am going to immediately run to the home decor section.
Ooh.
And grab a standing lamp. And I'll take the shade off. There's no bulb in it, and I'm not gonna put one in because if it had a bulb, I would break it, so I have like shards of glass.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't have a bulb or doesn't come with one, obviously I'm just not gonna. I probably won't have time to get it. But this will give me a sturdy weapon because they're mostly made out of metal. It has solid reach. You know, it gives me stabbing power, swinging power. If I use the end of the bottom part of it, those bases are really heavy, so I can crush some skulls.
And like a good shield too. Push them
exactly, back. Exactly. I can push them back. I can club them, and then the front side is not unlike a spear. It's not like exactly pointy, but it has prongs where you hold the light bulb, and depending on the exact style, you could get a pretty spicy looking one. So I think that's a good all around choice. I would go with that.
That's solid.
What about you? What are you rocking with?
I was thinking, my first thought, I think can head towards the technology aisle. With like the video game controllers, the TVs, the consoles, etc., etc.
Yep.
I think it's a good section. I think most kindergartners would be taken out if I just tipped a flat screen TV over onto them. Additionally, like, have you been smacked with like a remote control before?
They hurt.
Does some damage. And it's got a cord, so I can like whip it around like a Bowie thing. What are those things called? Bolas.
Or a bola or like a nunchuck. Yeah, if you keep it. Yeah, bola.
Get some reach. They might break, but I mean, there's so many controllers.
That's right, and if they break, that's just like splash damage.
Yeah.
That's like shatter damage. You know, you get shards of plastic. Exactly. Yeah, quality. You definitely need something. What's that?
There's like you can crawl on top of the display case, get yourself some distance between the little gremlins.
Oh yeah,
and
some
you.
height. Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely need some sort of height or reach.
Yeah, and when I have worst case scenario, I gotta get into close combat. I break a disc in half, and I've got me 2 knives.
You do. Get some of the like TV screen shards.
Oh yeah, when I tipped it over.
Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff. You could get if you go into like a really old Walmart and they have like those the TVs with the huge box at the back of it.
Oh man.
Those just like fucking explode when you tip them over.
Yeah. You think Walmart still sells like speakers?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Those big ones?
Oh, absolutely.
Tip that bitch over too. It's also low effort.
Yeah. Yeah. It's they're not going to be able to push their way out of it.
Yeah, they're just trapped.
They're kindergartners. So I have no idea how many I think I could get through.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, I think like reasonably I could take out like 50 or something.
Wow. I think I'm less. Maybe like 20's worth, 1 class worth.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I'm not like super familiar with the strength and feralness of a kindergartner these days.
Some of them are just bitches. They'll just be like a couple that are like tanks.
Yeah. If it's like kindergartners from the 2000s, oh yeah, easy. But now they're all strong and feral and...
Ah, they're getting so big. They're huge.
I know, they're massive. So yeah, maybe 50 is a little ambitious, but together we could definitely do it.
Oh yeah. Take out the whole school district.
That's right. So that's Reddit's Hypothetical. Thanks Larson Sam 2 for the unexpected cameo on You're Ridiculous.
They're gonna delete their account after this.
They're gonna get bullied. Let us know on Twitter, Instagram, in the comments of YouTube what kind of weapon or quote unquote weapon you would like to use. And Wolf, with that, why don't you read Rainie's question of the week?
All right, Rainie's question of the week this week is most satisfying video game weapon to use.
I see you're reprising the voice from Doki Doki.
It's my British accent.
Yeah. So I started it last time. Why don't you go give it a go?
All right. Probably the crescent rose from Ruby. The scythe that's also a gun.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the momentum that you can really build up to. You give it a swing, you shoot, you go faster, you spin, shoot again. You're all over the place.
You and Scythe, man.
Ah, yeah. Scythe and scissors.
Yeah. Thanatos, Main, and Smite. Scythes all over the place.
They're inescapable. They're sexy.
Yeah. They are. It's the curve and the length.
Yeah.
They just got it going. So yeah, I definitely agree. That's a very satisfying weapon. I think for me, so I have a really, really basic one.
Oh.
But in Assassin's Creed, which one is it? It's no, it's not Unity. It's
Black Flag.
No.
The pirate.
It's the England one.
England.
Fuck, hang on. I'm looking it up because this is important. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Okay. Sorry. People probably screaming at the TV. It's a Syndicate.
The TV.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you play as two twins, and the brother, they have like, so the sister is like focused on being stealthy and using, hidden blades and stuff like that, and the brother is like really bulky and just like a bruiser and just beats people up.
Right.
And you play as two of them, Evie and Jacob Fry. But Jacob, when you unlock them, you get brass knuckles, and so you can just beat the shit out of people forever. And if you knock them, if you're fighting up against a wall, so you know how like when you when you deplete the health bar of an enemy, they get knocked over, right?
Yeah.
Like just in video games in general, they knock over, they die, they explode, whatever. In this one, it's the exact same. However, it's not really a bug, but if you beat them up with your brass knuckles up against a wall, the wall will bounce them back into you. And so they just can't escape. It's the same with like a railing, like a hedge, kind of anything. Like you can, if you just put them against something else, they'll just keep on coming at you.
Bouncing against the wall.
They'll just like bounce up and it'll like reset them so they stand up again.
Yeah.
And so you can just keep beating the shit out of people.
They're like those sock 'em boppums.
They just keep coming back up for more. It's so satisfying. I love it. It's so funny. And it's not even like a glitch. It's just, I don't think they thought about this. And if they did, kudos, because it's really funny.
Indeed.
I liked it. So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. I also thought about like the Leviathan axe from God of War.
Oh.
Where you like throw it and it comes back to you. Like boomerang axe.
Yeah.
But this one was too funny, so.
More satisfying.
I know Rainie would probably vote for the Leviathan axe, so shout out. One of her favorites, I know for sure. So anyways, yeah. That's the episode.
Yeah!
Yeah, Wolf, take it away.
Wolfie taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 23 of You're Ridiculous. If you enjoyed the episode, smack that subscribe button, hit that bell, click the plus button, or whatever it is on whatever you're watching it on.
It helps.
If you enjoyed that, you want to chat us up, you can follow the cast page at ridiculous_cast on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Lucas on his main at 7angry, spelled with an E. And you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope you enjoyed and hope you join us next week. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Come back. Bye.